Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Pick a Card for What is Beginning. And I finished this reading already. It's really great. So thank you for joining me and welcome. So I'm excited to be here. At the end of the video I did a second pick a card within a pick a card, and then it turned out to be this wonderful, beautiful reading. So hopefully that will be something that you like. I'm going to choose 1, 2, and 3 and tell you guys with a Celtic Cross what's beginning. Just go to that option. If it doesn't work for you, choose another one. This is a timeless reading, meaning you can watch it anytime, so come back and watch another one when you're ready. I think that's it. My name is Varush. Subscribe to the Pick a Card channel, and I'm going to show you the bottom card of each pile. And but if you don't want to see it, then just jump to the part of the video that you want to watch, and again go to the end for a deeper dive, a second pick a card within a pick a card. Okay, so let's take a look at your first card. Your first card for option 1 is the Chariot, which is the card of Cancer, and it's called the Inspired Warrior. So that's what's beginning. That doesn't mean that something has to happen with a Cancer. It might happen through Cancer season or something else, but this is a card of overcoming. Cancer is about learning. Chariot is about learning your lessons and overcoming and going for broke, you know? Going, I'm going to have it all. I'm going to have it now, yes? Number 2, you guys have Confront 18, which is the shadow card or the moon card, confronting your shadow, taking a look at something probably pretty deeply psychological, probably pretty deep within your own mind. And then number 3, you guys have we have Accelerated Motion, which is the 8 of Wands in regular decks. I think you're about to catch a big wave. You know, something new is beginning. Time to go for it. Time to try. Time to try. I think that you're seeing a possibility. It's almost like a key is there in front of you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the pick a card. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, if you have any feedback or anything. If you have any suggestions, DM me on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get in touch. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye. Guys, and if you chose this option, you have the number 1, right? So I'm using this deck, which is available at my shop in the description, and we're going to do a Celtic Cross to see what's beginning in your life. Before we begin, make sure to like and comment, and at the end of the video we're going to have a bonus oracle round. So if you guys want to go to the end, I have the link provided in the description. Okay, so here's your first card. We're just going to go slow. We have the 4 of Cups. So definitely you might be actually missing something that's beginning for you right now, because it looks as though maybe something's beginning and you're not paying attention to it. So somebody's offering you something, but maybe you're paying attention in another direction. So this is reminding you to kind of take a look around and see what things might be happening for you. We have this card, the number 5 of Swords. So maybe you have been dealing with a lot of challenges and obstacles in whatever you've been trying to achieve, and you got so used to the obstacles, maybe shady people or bad circumstances, that you're now in some way little traumatized. Like, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not qualifying it, but maybe you have a little bit of trauma that perpetuates you to seek out the same type of circumstances that caused you the issue in the first place. It's kind of similar to Stockholm syndrome, but there's different levels of it. Everything's a spectrum. So maybe you're reaching out to the same people, but it's not something that's huge. If it's something that's huge, go see a doctor. But I feel like maybe these are slight things, like things that you can just check yourself on, and within a little bit of time it gets better. It's definitely not okay that it happened the way it happened, but I feel like I think that many of you will get through it and they'll be fine. At the top is the Wheel of Fortune. So you're in a big cycle of improvement. This is Jupiter. You want to find out where Jupiter is in your chart. You want to find your chart online at alabe.com/free chart. and look up where your Jupiter is. Jupiter's retrograde in Sagittarius, so find out what area of your life it's in, because that's where the growth is really, really happening at this time, or preparing to happen. Jupiter will go direct in September, I think, and so when it goes direct in September or August, that's when things really will push along. That doesn't mean you're going to have a slow summer, but it does mean that you are going to have, you know, maybe a bit of a preparation period for what's coming next. The next message on the bottom, we have the Six of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. This is Sun in Scorpio also. So it could be either someone who has a Scorpio sun sign, but more importantly, I think this is you getting something that you want out of a situation, you getting something out of a situation that you truly desire, kind of stepping into your truth, or connecting with someone with whom you have a very heartfelt connection. I feel like there is some friendliness around you. Maybe you have not been calling your friends back, or maybe you have been isolating yourself a little bit because you're in some way not connecting to the opportunities that are around you at this time. The next, the past is the Lover's card, or Gemini, and what this represents is that there was a very, maybe you're just frazzled after a relationship. Did a relationship just break down? I feel like it's time for you to let go of whatever happened in the past, whether it's a family situation or a relationship. Just let it go. It's in the past and you'll be okay. The oncoming energy is the Six of Swords. You actually moving on and really emotionally moving on and getting really ready to embrace new possibilities and new directions. And then we have the Judgment card, the Last Judgment. This is your place in the situation. There we go. I'll put it here. Typically it goes like this, but it won't fit. So big decision to be made. It's a big decision within your own heart, you know. You have a talk with yourself, take a look in the mirror and say, well, you know, I don't want this to be my way anymore. I don't want these kinds of experiences. I don't want these types of occurrences, and this is what I'm going to do about it. Here is the next message. We have the Ace of Wands, follow your dreams. A friend around you is very creative and supportive. They're giving you a lot of encouragement, and I think that's part of the good energy that you have around you. I think you're still shaken by past experiences, and that's why maybe you're not embracing everything that's around you, but this is saying that right now you're in a very wonderful time for new beginnings. The next message is the Four of Pentacles. So you feel like you're not going to put enough effort to get the outcome you want. Like you're going to fall short of something, like you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve if you try. I think a lot of people don't try because they feel like they're not going to make it, or that they're not going to achieve what they want, right? The next message is the Tradition card, or the Hierophant, sorry. So this is number 5 in the Trumps, nostalgia and reflection. This can represent that you're moving into school, going to school for something. This can also represent a marriage, especially here if you're connecting with someone. There could be someone very special around you, hoping that you open up that way. On the bottom we have the Chariot card, which is the card of Cancer. So this is the inspired warrior. I think it's time for you to kind of rise up out of situations and go in the direction that you're going. Be more present in the moment and really pay attention to the world that's around you, because I think you're really focused on the past. And so what's beginning is like a whole bunch of new opportunities. That Tradition card means a few things. It can mean new opportunities, but it can also mean like new relationships, and it can mean new friendships, new communities that you're interacting with. I'm going to pick a couple oracle cards, maybe the tokens, yes, and then some angel cards to clarify. We have the Dolphin Spirit. So this and that are true. I think you're trying to find a solid answer in one way or another. So you're trying to in some way say, this is black, this is white, you know. But I think that maybe there's a little bit of a suggestion here that you should probably consider both things to be true. You know, maybe they didn't love you, but maybe they also did love you. It's like both things could be true. And when you make peace in your heart with the fact that there's a couple different things going on, and not try to find one supreme answer, then maybe that's where you'll find the most peace and the ability to move forward. This is a decision. This could be also a decision to bring back someone from the past, the Last Judgment. So this is Pluto. But I feel like the best energy I felt was this in your environment, which is the Ace of Wands. Like a very, very nice friend is around you who's very creative and like very supportive and kind. And then we have the next message, Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. Yeah, it's reminding you it's time to let go. The Chariot card is a card of moving forward, moving over situations. It's a card of overcoming life's obstacles and improving for the better, improving your life for the better. Here's the Journey of Love Oracle. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite decks. Let's take a look. We have coming together. So maybe a decision to come together with a new partner. And then we have the Temple. So maybe buying a house with someone and committing to the present moment as opposed to the past. I think you have a risk of losing someone here if you don't move on from a situation. So you need to really become present. Let's see this card. Religious factors, okay? Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So it's important for you to touch base with your religion, to touch base with your faith, whatever it is. Even if you're agnostic, touch base with your logic and how you think about things, to try to figure out exactly what you're supposed to do right now. Like what are you supposed to do? What is your higher manifestation? What is your higher spirit? What is your 5D, or what is your higher entity, or whatever you want to call it, your higher vibration? What does your spirit body want you to do? What do you truly want to manifest? One of the biggest blocks to manifestation is a misalignment between the spirit and the body, between the 5D and the 3D. Okay, so let's see the next message. So I'm going to pick just like a couple. I picked a lot, but these are my tokens. I used to use them a lot on the channel, so I'm bringing them back. I'm doing a bit of a throwback here. This is a table I used originally. I've always used this table. I just have things on it. So your first message is the winter time. So this is a symbol for winter. So something may occur in the winter time, or this may actually continue until the winter. This reading is timeless, so wherever you are in the world, just make that relative to you. The next message is the heart, which is the card with token of love. So yeah, this is a love situation. This might involve a Pisces. My throat is messing up, sorry about that, but we're not going to let this one go, guys. So we have Pisces energy, Piscean energy. Piscean energy is really strong. You could be dealing with a Pisces. They might have sun, moon, or rising in Pisces. Or you may have met them just recently in Pisces season, which is between February and March. Okay, let me try to clear my throat. I'll be right back. I'm better, thank you. Okay, and this is Capricorn. So maybe this happened over last winter, or maybe this will culminate next winter time. Pisces is all about like philanthropy, love, compassion, a very spiritual connection. Capricorn is very pragmatic. How am I going to do things to make things work? So you're getting both energies right now. You also have the moon. To me, whenever I get the moon, I think that this denotes a moody situation. Like one day it's better, one day it's less better. So be patient with that. And then we have Mercury. So the planet Mercury is all about communication. This means that at this time, your relationship requires that you communicate more with each other. And it's a balance of energies between the yin and yang. It fell right on the Four of Pentacles. So I'm wondering if maybe you need to check in with yourself to kind of figure out your inner balance of where you're going and where you want this to go. I also have my angel cards. Okay, I put them here actually, they'll fit. So I'll pick like maybe 3 for you guys today. And again, I got 4. Look, lucky guys. Okay, so let's see. You have education. So maybe this is for some of you not about love, but rather about beginning education again, right? Tradition, this card is education, community, marriage, like formal organizations that you may be a part of. Then you have integrity, which is the angel card. Okay, integrity. Be true to yourself, you know. I think you're sort of stuck on something a little bit. The card Blanche. I keep this card in the deck because this means that anything can happen. And this is probably your friend, the Joker card. You know, somebody's coming in with good news. And then we have Vision. It's time to get creative, guys. I think that it's time to get creative and maybe begin a new path, build something new, commit to something, figure out where you are spiritually, and just grow. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure to like, comment, and support. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. And go to the end of the video, remember? Bonus round. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your option 2, What is Beginning? So this is a free Celtic Cross tarot card reading. And we're just going to see what is beginning, what's new, what's on the horizon. Hey girl, hey. Okay, so first we have the Master. The Master of Disaster, Mr. DeVille, is in the house. So hey girl, hey. So I think that maybe like you're addressing issues in which you're not allowing yourself to be as free as you want to be. Maybe somebody else has been holding you back. We don't want to say too much about this until we see more cards. Then we have dreams coming true. So 9 of Cups. So there's dreams coming true in your life. I feel like maybe this is a time of great restriction for you, but also one in which you get something that you've really wanted for a long time. Maybe you have worked for this for a very long time and now it's coming into reality. At the top we have the 8 of Pentacles, dedicated effort. And so what this represents is that maybe there is a job that you've done, or maybe you've done some training towards achieving something. You might be dealing with a Virgo, a Capricorn, or someone who has Jupiter in Pisces. So, but that's not true for everyone. Remember, this is a timeless reading. I feel as though you've put great work into something. I feel like you've put great work into something, and the outcome of that was you came to realize that, you know, the degree you got or the effort that you put in, they were promising you something, but you're not getting what they're promising to you, so you just have to kind of deal with that. On the bottom we have take the lead, which is the 3 of Wands. So there's a lot of effort that needs to be put into your life right now because you have the skills, you have what it takes, but there's a restriction on you. And so you have the knowledge, you have the skill, but there's restriction on you, and that restriction is in some way like has been slowing your progress down. However, this card is saying that you're actually in the lead and you're taking the lead, and your dreams are coming true, but you just have to not get discouraged and not think that things are not working out. It's very discouraging to go through school or go through something and put a lot of effort in only to have it superficially taken away, or to find out, like in school, sometimes schools promise things to students. Oh yeah, if you graduate here, you'll have this kind of great job. Many of us who graduated school even several times over, we realize that at the end of the day, maybe that job wasn't what we were promised, right? I remember in my first degree at my university, they were saying, oh yeah, you'll graduate and make $60,000 a year. And I was like, okay, but my first degree is a liberal arts degree, so there was no way I was going to land that without some very like awesome connections. But they were showing me statistics. They were like, you know, you're fine, you're good, giving me a pat on the back. Lo and behold, I went straight back into my next degree. The next message is the 5 of Swords, win or lose in the past. So yeah, it feels like there was some kind of miscalculation, misinformation that happened. And so I feel like that led you into a predicament that was not necessarily your own. It could have been a person who was influencing your situation, or it could have been a person who has influenced your situation, or possibly it was a situation that was a byproduct of like I described in my story, some kind of misinformation. The oncoming energy is sadness and isolation. Listen, this is the necessary step that I was kind of alluding to, because I think you're going to get frustrated with the circumstances, because I think you, as you realize your skills and your talents and your qualities, you come into conflict with what the reality is for those things, and that is going to be your motivating factor to jump off into new possibilities. So if you're feeling sad over the next 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months or something, you may just remember that that's the necessary step. Without the sadness, the motivation sometimes isn't. You need to be hungry for it, right? So I feel like that gives you an awareness of where your skills and qualities really lie, which only gives you more energy to work towards your goals and towards your ambitions. The next message is the heart chakra. This is something that you love doing, whatever's going on. It doesn't have to be work. It can be like a relationship that has been misleading to you, but your heart's fully in it, and that's probably when it's the hardest, right? When we really care about what we're doing. The next message is around you, the Five of Pentacles, challenging times. There's someone around you who's struggling financially, and they may be on top of all your stuff. They may be saying, "Oh, I need help. I need help." Okay. The next card is the Nine of Swords, which is the darkest fears. I kind of low-key love this card. I think it's kind of great. So I feel like this is Mars and Gemini. This is a timeless reading, but I'm reading while Mars is in Gemini. So I feel like I think you're afraid that things will go from bad to worse, but that's not what's beginning. I think your heart's going to supersede. Your heart's going to find the right match, and your heart has to recognize that it's not in the right match through sadness and isolation. It recognizes saying, "Oh, this situation is not right for me. It doesn't make sense. It's making me cry. I'm going to find something better." Here is the oncoming energy. Healing begins. Good. Six of Swords. You make a decision to move on. You make a decision to move beyond the current situations that are binding you. Remember that society is so complicated right now. Everywhere around the world, it's so complicated. I was just watching a show about Hong Kong, about how people spend like $5,000 for like a 200 square foot flat, and it's just, a month, like, and they're sharing, and they're professional people, like no hope, no future, that kind of thing, as rents and prices escalate. So, and that's true for a lot of places. I think the inflation rate is 19% in Hong Kong over the price of housing. So it's like incredible prices. So a price, the price of housing is like people earn. The price of housing is like 19 times more than what they earn. So it's unfeasible for a regular person who hasn't saved money or doesn't help from a second person to like help them buy a home. And that's definitely the case in Vancouver. I don't know what that rate is here, but it's probably pretty high. So relative to what we spend, we earn very little, in these places. So that's very expensive to live in and to start your life, unless you're already established or from a wealthy family who has property already, right? That's how it's working. So we have the Moon card, confront. Okay, so there's a confrontation. This is the Moon. Hidden feelings, you're going to have to, I know it sounds like I'm telling you all these like stories and observances, but I feel like those stories and observances are pinpointing exactly what the issue is. I think that the issue is that there's some inequalities that are around you that you have to confront, that people aren't talking about in public media, that kind of stuff. We're not talking about it. So a lot of people find themselves in these kinds of places, in relationships they don't want, and jobs they don't want, having put in all their effort into school and then having to come out on the other side to be like, what gives? But I think that the beginning starts with realizing your predicament in a realistic sense. Like, this is the factors that are going on in my life, and sometimes those things are very hard to accept because sometimes there are people around us that are further pushing us down, right, as we're trying to rise. And so it becomes like a very nebulous, noxious interconnection, social issue, right? So I think that maybe there's something that you're doing and you're very good at, and I think that now you're going to fight for it, and that's what's beginning. Let's take a look at your cards. This one got deep. Okay, so your first card is the Snake Spirit, time to heal. So the only way you'll heal is to take a look at the situation in a forthright manner. You know, there's so much sugarcoating going on. There's so many like false narratives that people are stringing together in order to justify their position. Be careful. Pay attention to yourself and don't be ashamed, because it's through shame that people don't do well by themselves. It's through shame for their experience that people do not take ownership over things that are going on around them, because they feel like they are wrong for having a certain experience, and that's not what it is. It's an external factor that's influencing the individual. It's a very complex web. And so here you are recognizing, excuse me, hold on. Sorry guys. And here you are recognizing exactly like what's been holding you back. So rather than, yes, there's things that you can do to improve your life, but remember, there's a lot of very complicated things going on in the world right now, like inflation, debt, you know, all these different dynamics that are just crazy complicated. So if you want to achieve something, if something's in your heart, then you need to recognize the factors that are holding you back from it and not be ashamed of certain things, like not having enough money, or coming from a certain type of family, or coming from a certain type of community. All those things are your factors, and you need to deal with those head on. And there's going to be a lot of people that will say it can't be those things, because that's politics. When people say, oh, it can't be those things, it can't be that, da 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 da, it's actually, it is all those things, and you have to face those things without shame so that you can deal with them, right? So be very careful with somebody trying to delegate to you like their politics about how they make sense of things. And a lot of people do that right now, and that's not fair to others. The next message is dragonfly spirit. So the truth transcends illusion. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the truth transcends illusion. At the end of the day, it is your factors that are affecting your life. It's everything, and you need to know what those things are in order to address them fully and not feel bad about it. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry guys. Back now. Okay, so here we go. She loves time to heal. So it's like within your heart you love something and you're denying yourself. Maybe you want to be an artist, but you feel like you're not going to make it. Maybe you feel like you really want to teach, but there's not enough money. One of the people in Hong Kong that I was talking about, she's a teacher. I mean, a teacher can't afford to have a house or to live in an apartment even by herself. That's crazy, right? So that's the reality of the industrialized world for many people, especially from the middle income families, and there's nothing wrong to be from that area, and you need to kind of face the things and do the things that your heart truly wants, and stop trying to, like, it's almost like jumping on a hamster wheel and in some way trying to push yourself beyond what you're capable of. And don't blame yourself for not being able to do better, because at a certain point the intersection between what you can affect and how the world affects you hits a wall, right? And you can get yourself really sick trying to like overcome those barriers. But you should try. It's just do so mindfully, knowing that it's not because you're this or that or incapable. You should try because that's the only option you have to achieve what you want. Unless you want to tap out, that's your prerogative too. Tap out means not try. The next message is towering magnificence. I think you're going to build something amazing. I think you're going to build something amazing, and I think it's going to be great. But I think you have to go through this moment of realization, you know, confronting the shadow, confronting the truth, what you want really in your heart, what you're really good at, and then move on and achieve that which you want to move on. The next message is passion. You have passion for this. Follow your heart and sing with joy. So, you know, however it makes sense, find what your priority is and then figure out however it makes sense to do that priority. So if that means not having a car, if that means moving somewhere, if that means, you know, choosing roommates for a while you save up for school, whatever it is, follow your passion. Just figure out what your priority is and put your efforts behind achieving that priority, okay? There we go. They agree. Okay. So I have some coins here. These are tokens. This is something I had on my channel many years ago, so let's take a look at them. We have the four corners, which means you have to consider things from all different aspects. We have the time of autumn here, so this is a time, this is a time when these things might really come to pass. If you're waiting for school, sorry guys, if you're waiting for school, I live in a good area, I promise. I really do. Very expensive area. But anyway, so this might come to you in a time of in the time of autumn. So maybe if you're going to school, this is a confirmation. This might involve water, which to me symbolizes, you know, creative capabilities. If an artist is watching this, this is telling you to keep trying to go ahead. Mercury is communication. I feel like you're taking a risk with something. Then we have Gemini, which is the season that's about to start while I'm filming. However, this is a timeless reading. So I think that this is the adventurous spirit of Gemini, to try to pursue something, to face your fears. And then we have the solar plexus. I always call this the sacral, which is the yellow chakra over your diaphragm. And this chakra allows you to push forward, move forward, and be excited about the directions you're going. Let's pick some angel cards. So I have 2. Last guy I got 4. You guys are going to get 4 too. Okay. So we have responsibility. Okay. So take control over your life if you chose this option. That's what's beginning. But first, face the things. Don't ignore. I feel as though there's a strong indication here that people in some way ignored things that are going on in their life because they're not culturally appropriate or they're not socially appropriate. Like, I can't accept that this is the case because of this, because I just don't want to think about how women are suppressed in society, or I don't want to think about it this way because that's just too heavy or too intense. But it's a factor. Like, women are suppressed in society through our education. It starts in high school. So that is a factor that's pushing you down. It's not the only factor. Maybe you're a bit lazy. Maybe you haven't saved enough. I mean, those are all factors that are a part, and you got to figure out what things to tackle in order to achieve that goal. And don't kind of create pink elephants. Don't have a living room full of pink elephants that you're ignoring, right? So that's your responsibility. And then it's a commitment to your priorities once you identify your list. And then you have joy. So celebrate and be happy with what you're doing. This is your heart singing with joy, right? Your heart singing with joy. And then we have delight. Okay, so I think that as you get past this point, the initial point, the beginning, is kind of scary, but once you get past this point and move on and go for it, go for what you want, I think you'll be very, very happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's. This is like a little extra reading I did, and I'm going to do a bonus reading at the end, which is just an oracle card reading, so hopefully you'll find more information there. Thank you for watching. See you later. Have a good day. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. If you chose 3, this is your pick a card, and I'm glad to be here. So we're going to take a look to see what's beginning. So far they've been pretty heavy, so this is number 3, and we'll see how it works out. Your first message is the mental conflict. So this is the 2 of Swords. Caught between 2 different places for a while. You haven't been able to decide which one you want. I think that that's what is beginning. It's resolved now. I think that whatever your period of waiting and trying to resolve an issue is done, and now you know exactly which way to go, and you're no longer confounded by misdirection or confusion. We have the 3 of Cups, reunion, rejoice, and celebration. So I feel like there's going to be an event that sort of pulls you towards the thing that you're probably not going to do. I don't know for sure, but I feel like a part of it has to do with the past, either reconnecting with someone in the past or, you know, a reunion. And I feel like maybe it feels normal. Like, it feels normal to want to go back, but there's also this feeling of that's a dead end that you've already pursued, that you already know, but then it's kind of drawing you back in. I think it's an interpersonal relationship that's drawing you back in, that you revisit or reconsider. Or, you know, you might hang out, you might go for dinner, but and it wants you back, but you kind of already know that it's time to move on. The top energy is the Four of Wands, foundation and achievements. So what's actually beginning is you have to work really, really hard right now. I think that you have to work in order to achieve your goals, to do with finances, but not for the sake of like big money bags, but more to do with like what you want to do for money, what you want to do for your future, where you want to invest your energy. On the bottom is the new beginnings, the Fool card. And so this is branching out in a new direction, the Fool. This is Uranus. Uranus has just moved into Taurus, so we're really focused on physical things. You can see in fashion how everything's just become super crisp all of a sudden. We had several years of very like, you know, hippy dippy fashions. I like that kind of stuff, flowers and whatever, and pastel colors, and now it's just going in hard, like we're going straight into, you know, like big bold prints and like bright colors, high contrast. And so we have the new beginnings below the surface. It's your beginning of the direction that the responsibility that you're taking on in your life, and what you are going to invest to it to create what you want now. So this is to do with like life planning. In the past, you had authority, the father, or the emperor. This could have been a business. This could have been a very, how do you say, predictable business, a predictable job. This is something that was predictable, that you knew what to expect. This could have been a marriage that you have left now already. And hold on one sec. Okay, sorry guys. So so there was a little bit of like there was like a regular schedule, a 9 to 5. You knew exactly what was expected day in, day out. And I feel like you're leaving that behind. You're sort of releasing the stability so that you can branch out. This in some way was stable and secure, but it was holding you back. The oncoming energy is emotional loss, the Five of Cups. And so I feel like you're confronting something that you weren't good at something before. You didn't get something that you wanted before. Like you didn't pursue something because you didn't feel like you were good enough. Maybe you wanted to be a fashion designer, but it kind of fell through, you know, and you felt like, oh no, I put all this time into it and I failed. It's time to go back to that thing that you sort of felt that you failed with. And I think that's the truth. You're the second option that got this in your card, and this is the new beginning. This is the new Aeon. Of course, I'm using different decks for each option, so it's a different card, but this is the same card as in another option, the Judgment card. Okay, so this is like a big decision that you're making, that you're taking on in order to pursue something. It's like maybe you're more mature. I got psyched out a lot when I was younger by even people in authority, like teachers. Not every single one, but I definitely was vulnerable. And there was teachers and people that had very limited thinking. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So there was people who had very limited thinking or had strong politics, and I internalized their opinions only to learn later was that they were full of shit, pretty much. Here is the next message around you, the Seven of Pentacles, patience and planning. So this is investment. Somebody's investing money in you. They're helping you along. I think that they see a positive outcome for their effort. Hopes and fears, fulfillment of wishes, the Nine of Cups. So I feel like you're hoping that there's a good outcome for things. I think what's motivating you is that you come to realize that something that was in the past you gave up on something because of influences that you were too naive to recognize were not necessarily real influences. And at that time you felt, you know, that you needed to give up on that because you weren't good enough. There was a real loss that happened, right? And now you're sort of like looking back at it and saying, wait a minute, that was that really stupid teacher that said all that stupid stuff and I believed them. Like it's funny looking back at how some people influence us, right? With their opinions and their whatever. The next message is emotional withdrawal. You need some time out right now to think about things. You need some time out to think about things, to really think about how you're going to put everything into play, how to carry forward, and how to, the beginning started, you know, it's already here. You've destabilized your security, so the only thing that you can do is move forward. That's all the only option you have. And I don't mean you've like suddenly things are going to go bad, but I think that you've challenged the status quo and now it's time to push forward. You just need to keep committed to what you believe and follow through with what you've stated or what you believe. Just keep going. These are all water cards, these green cards. So yeah, that's a lot of emotions that may be influencing you at this time, and you want to get those emotions to subside, to really quiet down, because your goals are practical and you need to have a practical approach. The emotions are good to recognize what's wrong and what's right, but you need that practical approach here. On the bottom we have the 8 of Wands, accelerated motion. I feel like you need to put more effort into going for your dreams. I think you've held back on your dreams, and I think somebody around you is going to very much support your dreams. And I think you're going to go for it, but you need that quiet. You need to actually physically go somewhere where it's quiet, or seclude yourself and think about what you want and how you're going to commit to it, and then do that, right? That's what's beginning. Okay, so these are awesome readings. Now I did all 3. I have to say each one is dope. So if you don't like this one, go choose another one. We have the Bat Spirit. Rebirth is assured. Boom. See? It's like a rebirth of something. You know, go back to whatever you haven't been doing. That's the thing that you truly want, you know? Otter Spirit, you are never alone. See, there's someone who's really, really wanting to help you. I feel like you have benefactors, you have like people who want to help and support you, and you just need to, figure out a very simple, a simple message to yourself and to others of what you're doing. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer, you know. One thing, actually, I gave up on being a lawyer. I did 2 degrees in pre-law. And so a couple days ago, I'll just tell you guys a little story. I woke up and I had like a vision, like saying, you're going to be a lawyer. Like, you're going to be a lawyer now. And I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy that I had this, but I don't see myself doing that in any way. But I mean, if it's possible, as you guys know, I'm very passionate towards like social justice causes, those kinds of things. And I'm quite a fighter, or quite like stand up for what I believe is right. So maybe that's a good option for me. The next message is legacy of light. So I feel like, yeah, I think that there's really good karma attached to you also. So I feel like there's really good karma. You've put in like substantial good effort, and so now there's good luck on your side in what you're beginning. But what you have to begin, it has to be altruistic. It can't be like, I'm going to screw a bunch of people over and like, let me plot to the side. No, you're going to fall on your butt. But if you're genuinely pushing forward with your intention, I think you're accelerated. Like, this is, so I always tell you guys about riding the wave, and it's like you're catching that wave. It's the big wave. The big one's coming. So get ready, start swimming. We have the next message, contemplation. So it's saying quiet down, quiet your mind, and get really present in the moment and observe what's happening around you so that you can in some way react well. So you're prepared. So prepare yourself now for what's beginning. You're going back to something for sure. You're going back to something, but moving way beyond it. It's like the thing that you didn't let yourself do before that you're going to do now. The next message is trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Most importantly, a faith within yourself. This could be going back to a relationship, but you're going to need some time to figure out exactly what in the relationship has to work in what way so that it's not hurtful to you, so that it's okay. So here are my tokens. As you guys know, I've had these for years, so let's check them out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, I got out of the habit of using them. Ooh, Chiron. Okay, so the first one we got was Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is like a full cycle that you've completed. A full cycle that you've completed where you got hurt a certain way and now you have to follow through. Don't listen, even if it's your mom. You know, my mom's giving me tons of great advice and tons of horrible advice, trust me. And I trust my mom, so I always believed it. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, hey, like, no, that's good for you, but I couldn't follow through with that if that was me. And, you know, your advice didn't. So use your best judgment, especially for those people who are younger who are watching. Just, you know, believe your mom with a grain of salt, like everyone else, even though she may mean well. My mom always means well. But the next message is the Mars. Okay, so action. Action, Jackson? What are you gonna do? The next message is the autumn. So something begins in the fall. Okay, so follow through. You're about to. So I think the summer. This is a timeless reading, so adjust this to your time. But I think the precursor from now until this autumn period, I think you're going to, like, you need to get your head right, get your head straight, and get focused on your goal. Mercury is communication, so you're going to, at some point, externalize your intention and tell other people what your intention is. And then this is the solar plexus, also the second time this came through. What this means is that you're putting action behind your agency. Air is the mind. See, you're putting your mind to action. This might involve an air person, but yeah, definitely in some way trying to achieve your goal. Like, this is your goal. You're going to have to earn it, right? And this is, and the nice thing about it is that the way that you have to earn it is the way that you wanted to earn it from the beginning, that for whatever reason you let something psych you out. You may have psyched yourself out, you know. You may have just, you know, maybe you wanted to be a model and you were like, I'm too short or I'm too fat, and you never followed through. So maybe now you're going to be a model. Hey girl, hey. Work it, girl. Give a twirl. Do your thing. And then we have the water. So I feel like yeah, so water energy, emotions, feelings. Check your emotions. You need to get back into your confidence space. And this is confidence. This is like, I'm going to make a decision and we're going to stick to it, right? So you're choosing a destination and you're going and you're moving away from like comfort and stability to challenge yourself to do better. You're taking on all that responsibility on your shoulders. Okay, that's righteous. Okay, I'm stoked. Okay, so let's see. You're riding the big wave. You're getting ready for this new beginning. And here we have celebration. So here's our little celebration. Okay, so here's a little celebration. And then we have beauty. So it's something that you denied yourself beauty, an expression of your own beauty. You know, whatever you thought to be beautiful, you said, no, I'm not going to do it. You're going to do it. The next message is, this is the word I used, efficiency, right? You want to be efficient and you want to make sure that you get things done. I don't think I actually used it here, but this applies here as well. Be efficient, you know, trust yourself and put your efforts behind the things you want. And what did I say? I did say this in this one. Simplicity. You know, so when someone asks, what are you doing? Maybe up until now you've been saying, you know, I've been this and that and whatever. That's because you haven't been doing what you truly want. When they ask you now, what are you doing? I'm going to be a lawyer, you know. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Congratulations. Go to the end of the video. Actually, right after here is the bonus round with oracle cards. So maybe I'll pull like 4 each or something. So I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Hi guys, welcome to your super duper bonus round, or a pick a card within a pick a card. I'm glad to be here. My name is Varush and thank you for joining me. So I hope you enjoyed your new beginning reading. And now we're going to take a look a little bit deeper. We have 1, 2, 3 options that you can choose between. I have a little bowl of knickknacks that I have had for a long time, and I thought that maybe I can pull them out for you guys for this pick card and maybe give you some insight for each option that you can choose between. Let's see. Okay, so we have, okay, we have 2 platonic solids. Well, 1 solid and 1 something else, but I'll show you in a minute. So if you chose number 1, or if you want to choose number 1, I have the Merkaba. The reason I'm using these again is because of the setup. It allows me to use autofocus, which really helps. So we have the Merkaba number 1, and then we have the Miracle Cube. Miracle. So if you need a miracle, choose number 2. No, you just make sense of it yourself. And if you want number 3, then we have tetrahedron, which is one of the platonic solids, right? And it represents the element of fire. So if that makes sense to you, and this is an actual crystal one, so it's cute, right? So decide which one resonates for you the most. If you want it to coincide with the main pick a card that you just watched, so it's the same numbers, 1, 2, and 3, and you can correspond with that. And you can switch also as usual. If it doesn't work out, then choose another one, okay? So let's begin. And I'm not going to do any fancy editing for this, so we'll just do Merkaba first. Merkaba is an ascension symbol, or an ascension symbol that represents ascension to higher dimensions between the 3D and 5D, if you're into that. So this is ascension to higher dimensions, higher states of consciousness. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. So we have instant feedback, okay, instant feedback. We have the light field. Oh yeah, this is total ascension. The light field, instant feedback. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. I think this is saying that addictions are actually holding you back from ascension. And then I have 2 animal cards because I love them so much. The wombat spirit, be at home. It's cool to be home. Rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time, so don't waste your time. What I think this is saying, here, maybe you'll see them better here. I feel like what this is saying is that you are in the process of ascension. Whatever you're trying to achieve is within your grasp. And I think that you have to make your decisions wisely about how you use your and conserve your energy. So maybe for some of you this means spending more time at home. Maybe for some of you this means in some way withdrawing. I do feel like, sorry about the siren. The sirens are their own entity in these readings. But the codependency card, I think that whatever dependencies you have, if it's alcohol and drugs, then definitely stop. But if it's sugar, caffeine, even eating meat products, all of these things are dependencies that you actually don't need in your life. And so as you, in order to ascend faster and better and more fluidly, toxins that you ingest, toxins that you put into your body hold you back. And there's instant feedback, like boom, this card came up first. I wasn't intending on pulling it first. I was going to pull these cards first, but I looked at it, I'm like, okay, here we go. So I think that you are definitely doing an ascension process. And if you don't believe in ascension process, then your life is drastically improving very quickly. And I think that you need to get very clean, very fast, and you don't have to be super fit. You just have to start making the right decisions now, right? The right choices. Okay, so that's number 1. A little bit of a pep talk. I think that seize the day, carpe diem, right? Now is a lucky time. I think like this rabbit says it all. And what you stand to lose is opportunity, right? What you stand to lose is a chance at a better life. So this is the time. And there's babies there, look. So if you snooze, you lose, cowboy. Okay, so that's, if you chose number 1, that's your answer right there. Okay, so number 2, you have miracle. Miracle, the little, this is like a jasper, right? A jasper, elephant jasper, I think. Okay, I just like it for the word. So miracle, let's see, Miss Miracle Pants. Let's see what you got. We have the scarab beetle, and then I found out. Okay, I'll have to save my fact for later. Magic works through you, the scarab beetle. Okay. And then we have the electric eel spirit. This has been coming up a lot. Bring your ideas to life. Magic works through you. For number 2s, I think number 2 option, if you chose the number 2 option in the main reading, there was that facet of it, that part of it, that had to do with like creativity and, you know, doing what you want. But there's a miracle that's happening that's enabling you to follow through with your creative spirit. Create the magic that you want in your life. The perfect chemistry is here. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. You are being pulled towards something you've always wanted. And then we have simplicity. Simplicity, right? So it's a very simple message. And I think if you chose number 3 in the main reading, then that was a message there as well. So you don't need to like build up a huge monument or puff up in pride and make up all these different things. It's simply there for you. So you go for it. And then here is the vibes never lie. I don't know what this is called. Call on your runners. I don't know what this means, because runners is like a different term than when this deck was made, but like get people to do stuff or make sure that everything's lit, everything's fine on the sides. So just figure out your bearings and move ahead and yeah, and get people to do things. Delegate. Okay. So the magic works through you is my favorite card out of all of these right now. I feel like there's something very special within you that you're going to get to create, that you're going to become. Okay. So number 3, we have tetrahedron, right, which is a platonic solid representing the element of fire. You guys can see. Okay. So we have tetrahedron. Beautiful. And this is a crystal. Yes, I love it so much. The reason you guys don't see those is when I don't have this background, it's very hard to show certain crystals. And most of my crystals are light colored, so I use a lot of like clear, so they just don't show up. This is a twin. It's just a regular crystal quartz twin wand, but it's nice and balanced. Okay, so let's see the next message. We have the dove spirit, be peace. Okay. Be peace. And then we have the wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. Okay. So I think that like this is about learning from past experiences and maybe not reacting differently now that you're in the know. Like you're in the know now, so your response must be peaceful. Otherwise you're creating something that's really wrong or bad. So like your response has to be peaceful. Now that you know, now that you've elevated, you don't have to give the same response. We brand ourselves with our responses. Like we tell the world who we are. So, and then we feel like we're stuck to it. Like I was always sassy, so I'm going to always be sassy. No, you can be demure. You can be quiet. You can change your demeanor just like this, but you have to work at it. So your change in demeanor must be peaceful. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Attraction. There's something in your heart that you love. You attract love by enjoying this moment fully. You're supposed to do what you love if you chose this one. This is like screaming at you, like you have to go do what you love. Rings of Time number 44. There's some kind of like karmic, deep resonance there. And your life has been suffering because you haven't been doing what you really are truly meant to do. And cloak yourself in light. Don't be afraid. You know, the problem with being the light in the darkness is that the werewolves and like the evil creatures come with the people who need the light, right? So cloak yourself in light and don't be afraid and be brave and move forward. No matter what you do, you will have to deal with consequences of doing that action. Whatever you do, even if you tap out and don't do anything, that comes with its consequences too. So why not just try and do what's in your heart? Because you're sad because you're not doing what's in your heart. You're denying yourself that true happiness. So you need to sit with yourself and figure out exactly what that is. Maybe a little fire energy, you know, altruistic fire energy, inspiration, all that stuff. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for watching this video. This extended became a whole reading in and of itself, but I hope you guys had fun. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.